Hello and welcome to Conquering Mountain Scrap with Brenda. I'm Brenda and we're here with another episode of Free Pattern Friday, and I'm calling this one Bits and Bobs. Now this is going to be so much fun. Yes, I cut my half square triangles with the easy angle ruler, but I have given you the cutting instructions for, if you don't have that ruler, you can, do it the very traditional way. This block is so pretty, so fun, and very, very easy to do. Very user-friendly, and it makes lovely chains across your quilt. It'll be gorgeous. So before we get into this, let's talk about our shout-outs. I have Lynn Lockhart Quilting. She always makes such lovely comments on my videos, and you guys are gonna go check her out and see what she's up to. She's a very, very talented long armer, and she's such a nice lady. And the other one is Ashley Sunny Maid, right? So both of those YouTubers are going to be in the show notes below. You can go check them out and tell them that Brenda from Conquering Mountain Scrapmore sent you. You're going to find the Facebook group, and we have a virtual sewing room hosted by Discord. And we have all sorts of fun community chats and fabric exchanges by country to keep postal costs down. The admins say, please answer the questions and agree to the rules. It's the only way they can screen you to keep the riffraff and scammers out. Otherwise, we want to keep that group really safe for quilters. So that's what you need to do. Also, I speak for free to quilting guilds and quilting groups. It's my way of giving back to the quilting community. I have met so many very talented quilters. It has been so much fun doing speaking engagements. So if your group or guild is looking for a speaker, I do them over Zoom, and we have so much fun. Also, you can get a hold of me through the About tab. That's where my email address is, or you can message me directly through the Facebook group. Like I say, I do my best accommodation to accommodate you guys. Also, if you guys find shout-outs, I have found the best shout-outs from you guys, and I'm amazed. Send me a link or send me their name, and I will do my best to try and find them and then, put them on our shout-out list. And it's amazing the people that are coming up. Like, I've just been blown away with some of the talent that's out there on YouTube right now. Also, I've been involved with 2 collaborations this spring, summer, and fall. The first one is the Quilter Circle Challenge, and that's Sam Alberts and Deb from Sewing with Debbie, Michelle from Bits and Pieces, Future Cat from New Zealand, Kelly from Kelly's Quilts Plus, and another Kelly from Silly Moon Quilting. We've had so much fun putting out a theme, and what does that theme mean to you? That's the challenge. And then, of course, we challenge our viewers as well. We're having a blast with that. I have just had so much fun coming up with fun and different ideas for my part of the challenge. And I'm very happy to be sharing that with you guys as well. The other challenge is, it's called Back to Basics, and it's ran by Handmade by Yang with Donna. Now, Donna's assembled a bunch of YouTubers. We're doing back to basic videos. We're doing all our teaching points and showing you how to do this and that and all this other stuff. Perfect for beginners, but also really good for people who have picked up some bad habits along the way, and you can recorrect your way you're doing things. So it's I'll be watching some of those too, because I've been picking up some bad habits too. We also do the Zoom Sew Days for Saturday of every month from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I'm in Alberta, Canada, and we have so much fun in there. People come and go all day long, and if you don't have anything to sew that day and you want to bring cross stitch, yeah, we're good. We will be happy to include you. Also, helping us out by making comments, thumbs up, share, like, subscribe, hitting the bell so you don't miss content. Those help us out so much. And there is supposed to be a hype button on your cell phone. You only get so many hypes a week, and then it resets. I don't know how all of that does. But if you could do any of those things for us, including the hype, what happens is it pushes our analytics forwards, and we can continue bringing fun free patterns to quilters everywhere. So I think that's it. Yes, it is. So come on in. Let's get to the sewing of Bits and Bobs. Okay, so here we are with Bits and Bobs. Now, Bits and Bobs is one of those blocks that everything just works. You've got a dark, a medium, and a little bit of low volume, and you might as well just have fun. This doesn't take long to do. Now, I used an easy angle ruler to speed up the cutting of the half square triangles, right? That's where you can just cut them out of a strip. So you've got 2 squares that are 3.5 inches. And then your triangles are 3.5 inches as well, right? So you need a strip of 3.5 inches, and you need a strip of 2 inches because that's what makes up this, and you're good to go. And you got a nice 12-inch block now. Come on, let's go. There we go. And you just have to make 8 half square triangles. Now, if you don't have that easy angle ruler that I like to use, I mean, there's other products out there too that I guess you can cut strips from. I do strongly recommend you get it because wow, is it fast. It is the fastest way to make half square triangles I've ever seen in my life, and and you can make a lot of them very quickly. But if you don't have that, and you don't have a desire to go run out and get another ruler, or don't have the money to, or because those rulers now are so expensive. I gave you the traditional cutting instructions, but just so you know, you can cut them really quickly out of a 3.5 inch strip. Oops, there we go. Yeah, this could have been ironed better, couldn't it now? Oh well, I'll give it a press when we get it all sewn together. I know why I didn't iron it. I had too much stuff piled on my ironing board. And I had too much stuff piled on the portable ironing board. Yeah. I don't know how to survive some days. Okay. So, alright. Here we go. Okay. And yes, I'm using up odds and sods of cotton thread that I got as a donation. I figured, okay, now it's time to pull out all that stuff and move it out. Now, when you're using a color thread, you can sew in actually any color you want. Some people, when they're doing patchwork, all they do is sew with gray, black, or white. You know, and it's usually either cool tone gray or a warm gray, but that's basically all they do is they sew with that gray, black, or white. If you shorten your stitches, right, you can do whatever color you want because nobody's gonna see it. Now I'm just gonna start running the 16 patch through, and I want to make sure that it ends up the right way. So let's just roll through this. I'm just webbing this all together so that it's done correctly. There we go. I suppose I could make 4 patches and then make it. Yeah, I'll do it that way. I'll do 4 patches. And then I'll do the 16 patch. Because I want all my seahorses to, because it's a directional print, I want all of them to be facing the same direction, going up and down within the block. In the quilt, God knows what's going to happen. There we go. And there. There. Yeah, we cut this off 2 by 2, and we will be pressing to the dark, I guess. Yeah, we'll press to the dark. There we go, and there. With these two, I'm going to press the other way. I'm going to press to the light. There, and I'm hoping to get all of them going the same way so I can spin my seams where they cross, and there's a nice flat 16 patch in the middle. That would be good. So yeah, I'm actually thinking about this, how I'm sewing it and which way I gotta press it in order to make it flat. Right, now that's something some people you need to kind of, you know, I guess some people need to see it first before they can actually do it, but. Okay, so here we go. I hope I cut all of those. No, I did not. Okay, well, we'll cut them now. The little joining thread has not been cut. So, I cut it on the last one. I didn't cut it on the others. So nothing's going to spin when they're not cut. They don't spin. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to lay it out. We got two seams, one going this way and one going that way. So to make it spin clockwise, we're breaking the center and ta-da, there. That's going to lie lovely and flat. Now the other, I'll show you again. Okay, this one's going this way. This one's going that way. In order to make it spin, you just open this up. Just give it a twist. That's all you have to do. And then give it a little finger press and put it down in place. Right now, see if these work the same way. They should. Oh, please. Oh, please work. Oh, please. There. Now, that. There. And this one will get off the machine. And, oops. Okay. Here we go. There. Boof. There. Now, everything here in the middle is going to nest, right? Because we pressed the right way. We press one to the dark and then one to the low volume, right? So we have everything meshing up, and I'll show you how you lay this all together. Really flat. Because this 4x4 or 16 patch is going to be really super flat by the time I'm done. Okay. Here we go. And this always creates such a lovely thing. Now, I'm going to split this the same way, right? I'm going to split them the same way I did. And what happens now is you end up with them nesting all the way through the back. And I'm going to show you how that works. Just how that works. You see how all those seams now will nest? Like this one will nest, this one will nest, that one will nest. That's how you get a perfectly flat block in the middle. That's how you get a perfectly flat 16 patch, right? So, and that's always a handy little trick to learn. Yeah, you stop with your needle down, you run to the next nesting, and the next nesting, and to the end. There we go. So, oops, I lost my foot. The things I say as a quilter, I lost my foot is quite a bit. I lost bob and chicken. Maybe quilting is about loss. So, anyways, okay, so now we're just going to go through that long seam that we did and just crack open those. Now, one in the middle is going to crack open a little bit differently, and you just finger press all of that in place for now, because you'll take an iron to it in a bit. But, okay, there we go. And sometimes you need to just persuade it a little bit more. So that's how all of those lay now. Right? So everything now, once it's pressed, it's going to be perfectly flat. Now let's get this all laid out, these half square triangles. Now I have just done by let's see. I'm just going to lay them out and press them to the dark. They're all going to go to the dark. They're all going to lay the same way, right? Okay. There. This is a great little scrap buster. This is such a cutie. Cutie patootie. And sometimes I have to actually sit there and think, okay, which way is this going now? Which way is that going? It just comes up, it kind of looks like a, I don't know if it's, it kind of reminds me a bit of a Navajo pattern, but it's just like lovely. Everything is going to fit and mesh lovely, and you've got all that. That's what you're making, right? This is what we're making. So what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to run these through the side pieces. Okay, well, okay. Okay, now we're going to get those through just like that. And get this through just like that. And okay, and I get that on that side again, back. And you want to press these to the dark. You want to get that out of the way. Or let's see. No, you want to press them the other way. Oh no. Yeah, you're going to press them the other way because you want that nesting to occur with the block. Because this seam is going that way, right? So you want this seam to go this way. Okay, now we're going to do, let's see, what are we going to do? This one next. I kind of like this sparkly thing going on. Alright. And basically now we're just going to be doing this by strips. Now that's going that way, so you got to go this way. So this seam right here is going this way. This seam here needs to go that way, right? So we're just going to continue all the way around and get more of this sewn together. You don't want to get too far ahead without laying it out, right? Because otherwise it's going to get confusing, right? So, and this gets that. Okay. There we go. This is such a pretty pattern. Because this is an asymmetrical block, you can make all sorts of lovely chaining effects and secondary patterns, right? So, I mean, I don't have the ability to do that for you and show you because I don't know how to do that mostly. But it is something that is really, really interesting to do. Okay. There we go. There, just like that. Lay that down. Okay, now let's get this sewn because we need that nested. Okay. Okay, now you want that to be perfectly nested so everything looks good. There we go. There. Okay. Now before I sew and press and push and all the rest of the stuff, all I'm doing right now is sewing them together. I will push depending on which way that needs to go. Okay. Very simple. And sometimes you have to think ahead on your pressing plan. Like if this gets pressed out, this one can't go out, right? And if this is getting pressed out, that one has to be pressed in, right? So we have to figure out how we're going to do this, right? So let me just press this in. We're just going to press those in, and I'm going to press these out. And we're going to nest again. Okay. So you have to kind of think about your plan of pressing as you're doing some blocks sometimes, right? Because you want your block to lie as flat as you can. And, you know, you have to make allowances. That seams are going to fight you. So sometimes that press to the dark may not work. Okay, that's being pressed in. And not a, okay. These are both being pressed in. So that's fine. Now, so, okay. Okay, now, come on, there we go. So this gets pressed out. Okay. Now the center one goes this way in order for it to nest. In order for it to nest well, you know, this one now is going, this seam is going that way. Because the seam underneath it is going towards me, not towards the needle. Okay. There we go. Here we go. Come on, nest. There we go. Sometimes I don't want to nest. And sometimes it's just like, I don't want to nest. I don't like him. He's looking at me. You know, like the backseat kids. Doesn't matter what you do, they don't want to lay nice. Sometimes. There we go. And oops, come on, I lost it. I lost it, so I have to reset this. There we go. Okay, last row. Now, you just want this to be pressed out. Just press it out. Now, this is not where you go, not where you sew it like that. That would be bad. You don't want to sew it like that. You want to sew it like this. How do I know? How do I know? Yeah, I know. Okay. So, there we go. Line it all up. Yeah. Boy, it's been a busy summer so far. And it's been lots of fun. Hopefully we'll get to see the grandkids more. But, you know, it's like they're running too, trying to get as much fun as they can in the summer months. And my granddaughter had her 7th birthday in May. So I'm like, wow, that didn't take long. My baby girl, my youngest grandchild is now 7. Such a fun age, though. Such a fun age. I had somebody had, I either bought it or by mistake or what. So I had unicorn looking eyeshadow, liquid eyeshadow. And every time I put it on me, it made me think, oh, it looks like a unicorn did my makeup. Maybe this is not for me. But anyway, I let her try it. Because just to play, you know, just to play grown up. And we were just having some fun. So that's what we ended up doing some unicorn makeup. Okay, so here we go. Everything in the center now is lying flat. All the piecing around the outside is nesting. We're going to have, when we hit this with an iron, we are going to have the flattest block you've ever seen. So just so you can see, this seam is going this way, that seam is going that way, all around. So, and of course, everything has been pressed out and away from the 16 patch. So when we get to an iron, I'll give it a good press and we'll get to our ta-da moment. So here's our ta-da moment of bits and bobs. Now, this is just, you could put this on point and it would look absolutely stunning. You could lay it on its side and have the quilt crisscross of darks across the quilt. It would look lovely. You know, you do have a little bit of white in there for your eye to rest, but this works on dark, mediums, and low volume. right? So you have all sorts of opportunity to play and get some of those mediums out of your stash that are plugging it up, because that's what's plugging up your stash. It's all the mediums. When you put a whole bunch of mediums together, they don't look like anything. But like I say, when you've got the mediums and the darks and then the low volume, it works perfect. So I do hope you give this one a try. This, if all you wanted to do is make a quilt just out of this, this would be such a lovely quilt to make. You know, it's a lot of smaller pieces, as you know, like you do your 4x4 blocks differently. And you know, as long as you've got that dark strip running through, you could just make this totally scrappy and it would work too. So anyways, I hope you win Bob and Chicken this week at least once. I haven't won for a while, but eventually we will win again. The odds have to be with us, and your 1/4 inch is absolutely perfect, and you stay well until we see each other again. Okay? All right, bye! My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey, and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life, and you know, your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your lives, and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye, and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.